A very perplexing question. A question that's been bothering me all of my life, and I've been an exercise professional all of my life. Why is it that there are so many fat, sick, weak, diseased, depressed people in the world, and we keep getting more and more of them? There's so much information about how to be healthy, how to be fit, how to be strong, how to have a stack of energy, how to be lean, how to be disease-free, and yet the world is getting fatter and sicker and weaker and more diseased and more depressed than it's ever been. Now, the other question that's been perplexing me my entire life is, why is it that some people get healthy, they get into great shape, they look amazing, they've come on a big journey from being weak and unfit and sick and diseased, they get into great shape, they stay there for a little while, and then they go back to the way they were. It's one of the reasons I study neuroscience, why I'm studying the brain, because I don't understand that. Of course, the reason for that is I've been healthy, fit and strong my entire life. I started exercising when I was 10. I've been a personal exercise coach, a results coach and exercise professional all of my life. You can hear my dogs rumbling in the background. See, they just play. They're fit, they're strong, they're healthy. Nobody has to inspire them to exercise. They just want to. And I wonder why that isn't with humans. So, of course, as an exercise professional, it's one of the questions that I ask. What have we done wrong? Is it possible that we've made exercise too hard, too complicated, too boring, too expensive? It hurts. There's all sorts of reasons why people don't exercise. Because if you could bottle the results of exercise, the side effects of exercise, and put them in a pill, it would be the number one selling drug in the world. Everybody would buy that pill. When you look at the big long list of things, if you start at your head and go down to your toes, everything about exercise makes your life better. So you have a better, healthier brain, less depression or no depression. You feel happy, you feel successful, you have strong self-esteem and self-confidence. They're all the happy drugs that exercise produces inside your brain. Obviously, you think more clearly, so you're going to be better at what you do. You're going to make better decisions. If your brain's working better, then of course you're going to be better at work, at school, at exams, at tests, at every pressure that life throws at you. You're going to handle it better because your brain works better. But of course, then you've got that's your central nervous system and your endocrine system, your hormonal system. But then you've got skeletal system, muscular system, digestive system, immune system. Everything works better. So you've got a fast metabolism, so you burn up everything you put into your body, so you don't get fat. And if you are fat, you can get rid of fat very, very easily. You have an immune system that can fight germs, bugs, viruses and diseases. And that's a great question. If you've got a strong immune system, does it mean that you don't get sick, or does it mean that if you get sick, you get better quicker? Either of the answers is brilliant. It just means that sickness is not a thing that's a challenge in your life because you've got a strong immune system. Another great question I always ask. People say, there's a lot of virus going around, or a lot of germs, bugs and disease going around. Everybody's gotten sick. And I always say, is it everybody? Because that's not true, is it? Not everybody gets sick. Some people stay healthy because they've got a strong immune system. A great digestive system means that you eat what you love. Your body burns it all up, gets all the nutrients out of your bloodstream, puts it into the places in your body that you need it. So great hair, great skin, great nails, strong bones, strong muscles. You have to have a digestive system that works. The other interesting one about that is, if you pick up some horrible bug in your food, your digestive system, if it's healthy, you'll either vomit, poo, both at the same time, and your body will get rid of it really quickly. If you've got a weak digestive system, a weak immune system, the germs and bugs stay inside your body and you get sick long term. See, exercise is an amazing product. Everything about life is better from the top of your head to the tip of your toes if you're healthy, fit and strong. And yet people don't exercise, they don't get fit and they don't get strong. What if it was this simple? Get puffed to get fit, lift heavy to get strong, do it safely so you don't get injured, because of course you can't do anything if you're injured. And then make sure that the program is short and fast so people can't say, I don't have time. Even the people that have got hours and hours to exercise, could it be possible that there comes a time in their life when they don't have a lot of time? And wouldn't it be nice to be able to be fit, strong, lean, energetic, healthy, and have a great life in a short period of time with an exercise program, not a long one? So that's my very personal question, my begging position. If you're responsible for inspiring people to be healthy, to be fit, to be strong, to be lean, to have a great life, how can you have a great life if you're unhealthy, of course? Would it be a really good idea to motivate, inspire, educate people with the least amount that they should be doing rather than the biggest amount? If people say to me, Rowie, how much exercise do you do? My answer is always the same: as little as possible. What's the least amount I can do to get fit, get strong, and stay that way for the rest of my life? Which is why I study not just the brain, but also the anatomy and physiology of the human body, because the three energy systems that get us fit and strong, or the three things in our body that provide us with energy to do stuff, we live in the aerobic system, which means if you are living there already, if you exercise there, you're not going to get that great of a benefit because you're not putting yourself under pressure, you're not getting out of your comfort zone. If you go into the lactate system, where you can work very hard, there's some small challenges with the lactate system because there's some byproducts that make you feel sick and make your muscles burn, so people don't want to work there. But if you go to the phosphate system, if you really want to inspire people to exercise, the phosphate system, the fight and flight, 10 seconds of 100% effort, there's no byproducts, so there's no burning muscles and no feeling sick. You get a result really quickly because you're working at 100% effort. And it's as close to zero as you can get, because most people don't want to do any exercise, and even if they are exercising, they hate it. There's very few people in the world who love to exercise. A lot of people exercise because they don't want to get fat or they want the benefits of, but they still don't love it. But if you're giving somebody a program that's short and fast, 10 seconds is as close to zero as you can get, that is the 100% energy system, that is the phosphate system to fight and flight, to stay alive, to be able to thrive, then wouldn't it be nice if, or I'll rephrase, what if the whole world was fit? What if the whole world was strong? What if the whole world had a strong central nervous system, endocrine system, digestive system, immune system, skeletal and muscular system, cardiovascular and respiratory system? What if everybody was healthy, fit and strong? Would the world be a better place? So if you want to inspire people, motivate people, educate people, and I'll be that broad to make the world a better place, should the exercise program you give them be long or short? Should it be boring or fast? Should it give them results in a short period of time, or should it take a really long time? Silly questions, of course. So perhaps focus on, how can I get the people in my life that I love, that I care about, that I want to be healthy, fit and strong? How can I do it in the shortest period of time, in the safest way possible, to give them the quickest results so they can stay healthy, fit and strong for the rest of their life? Could those be good questions to ask, so that we could all live our life to the max? Super duper doo, how are you? Living my life to the max. Woohoo!